Without this foundational element, all of the sales tactics, tips, strategies, and hacks will not be as effective as you want them to be, and you'll ultimately not make as much sales as you want to make inside your business.
You're listening to the Venue RX podcast.
What's up, guys? My name is Jonathan, host here at the Venue RX. Now, this is a show all about documenting and sharing best practices for owning, operating, building world-class wedding venues. And I'm so excited to be here with you here today talking about sales, but more specifically, a foundational element and a foundational piece that we were missing for so long in our business and the venues that we run. So I own a company called Common Sense Events. It is a venue management business where we go and operate wedding venues, from the marketing, sales, operations, the entire thing for property owners. And we generate tremendous amounts of revenue. Some of our properties are doing well over $1 million in sales every year. And I'm really, really excited about this because this foundational shift for us has been something that has been difficult and something I don't think that I realized the importance of very early on. I went through so many sales trainings and tips and tactics and tricks and different things that I felt like would make our sales team better. And ultimately we were missing one little layer here. And so I want to share a story of something. We were having a sales meeting and, I am asking the team, hey, how's it going? How are the sales leads that are coming in? How are the tours going? How are the conversions? And we're reviewing some of the metrics. And, I just noticed that one of our team members really didn't seem that stoked. And as I am digging into it more, I found out she, a couple months ago, had been very successful and had been booking, 6, 8, 10 weddings per month. And then all of a sudden she, the leads kind of dropped off a little bit. And the leads that she was getting in, people were canceling on the tours and some of these different things were happening. And she just started getting discouraged. I also found out that she had heard a couple of things about the venue that weren't exactly great, different things with the landscaping and the maintenance, things that we needed to fix and things that we did fix, but she was still kind of carrying that mentality about the venue not being that great in her head. And so her level of belief in the venue's ability to solve the client's problems and really be the best solution for the client had radically diminished. So that's what the topic is about today. It's about belief. It's about this foundational piece that we must have and all of our salespeople must have to really make sure that we are giving the best sales experience possible, but also that we're able to get the sales that we need and we deserve and the properties that you have or the businesses that you have really deserve. A lot of times I think as business owners or as salespeople, we're constantly getting beat up out there, right? We're going out, we're telling the world about what we have, and either we're getting negative feedback about the things that we're missing, or maybe we have a negative loop going in our minds and we're sabotaging ourselves. So that could be a possibility as well. But I really think when it comes down to it, you have people entering your pipeline, and if you don't, we could talk about that in a different video, but you have people entering your pipeline who have submitted an inquiry, they are interested in the property, they want to know more information, and so it's up to you to have a high level of belief, a high level of conviction and excitement so that when they come on a tour or they're talking to you over the phone or texting you, that you're able to convey that conviction, convey that belief to them that you really feel like this is the best place for them. And we're going to talk about here in a moment how you can kind of reset that if you don't feel that. But one of the things that I've seen just kind of overall is if our salespeople don't have a high level of belief that translates into excitement and passion and things like that, all of the sales tactics and training and everything in the world will not help them at all. It will not help them make any more sales unless they have a layer of belief that supports everything that they're doing as far as communicating with clients. And it's something that is intangible. It's something that you can't communicate with your words. It's an attitude, it's a passion, it's a vibe that you give off, again, on texts, on calls, on the tour, when people see you, and in the follow-ups that you have, after that. So, and I really think that this is cross-applicable to many different businesses, not just wedding venues, but we're focusing on venues because, of course, we are the Venue RX here, but I think it really, really applies to a variety of businesses. As a salesperson, your level of belief will translate to the couple that you're talking to if you have it. And if it's not there, that's what we're gonna get to next. And as a side, I think that's why oftentimes owners who are operators as well make some of the best salespeople, as well as people who have experienced your product or service already. So there are those two categories of people who have a high level of belief, because if you're an owner, you're of course very excited about what you're bringing and how your company is serving people. But then also if you've already experienced it, you've had a wonderful result. Let's say it's at a wedding venue and you have got married there and you had just the most incredible day and it was beautiful and you love the pictures and you're so passionate about the property, that type of person who's gone through that is going to have such a high level of belief and such a passion for the property that they're going to be able to naturally communicate that to other tours or other people who are coming in who are interested in possibly getting married there, but they have doubts, they have concerns, they're spending a lot of money, there's so many other options out there. And so having a salesperson with a high level of belief is an absolute game changer and is a absolute must as a foundational or support layer to everything else that you can add on top, which of course is important, but again, you have to have that layer of belief. So the big question is, how do we handle a situation where you, maybe even as an owner or operator, have kind of fallen out of love with it, or you don't have your layer, your belief tank is low. Imagine you're driving a car, it's a gas car. Here in California, we're all about our EVs, right? All about our electric vehicles. The charge that you have in your vehicle. Do you have a high level of charge? Do you have a full tank of gas, or do you have a low tank of gas? Do you have a low charge? And I think evaluating that and understanding, okay, if my tank is low and I am doing a tour with a client, I am not going to be able to translate the level of conviction that I have, the belief that I have that this property is really going to serve them and going to be the best option for them. I'm not going to be able to translate that to them, and I'm not going to be able to have my layer of belief cover their layer of doubt. What you need to do is you need to evaluate, okay, where am I at? Have a little bit of that self-awareness. If you don't have that, there are a couple different things you can do, a couple things I'm going to share right now. Number one, you need to be looking at your property or your product or service or whatever it is, and you need to be understanding, okay, what are the little ways that we can constantly be making it better? And this doesn't necessarily mean at a venue, building a new building or putting up a gazebo or, some other big project like that. This can even be small tweaks like how you're priced, not raising or lowering the price necessarily, but the structure of your pricing. How are you communicating your clients? How are you communicating to your clients the prices for your product or service? How are you conveying the value that you have? What things are you adding into a package? What things are you taking out? Where are you starting on your tour? All sorts of little things like that all roll into the whole entire experience and what you're providing to couples. So I think that's number one, making sure that you're constantly evaluating what you're doing. Number two is you need to go back and review any past successes that clients have had with you, couples have had with you. Go back and look at some of those letters that you've received. Again, if you're an existing venue couples who have written in who have said, hey, thank you so much for what you've done. We had such a wonderful day. Or go look at positive Yelp reviews, or go look at Google reviews. Find the proof that people do actually love what you're selling. And if it doesn't exist, you need to work on making it something that people love and making it something that actually serves the needs of the clients. And this is why I think it's so important to involve operations people, support and success people who are fulfilling things in with the sales team. Because basically, if you're not getting that feedback day of that this worked, I loved this other thing didn't work, I didn't love this was inconvenient, things like that. If you're not getting that feedback, you don't know actually how to make your product better, or for the sales team, how to position the product or service, position the venue, position your package in a better light that actually meets the needs of the avatar, the client, the couple that you're trying to serve. So those two things are really big for me. First, taking a look and actually constantly working on your packages and your product and your service and whatever it is. And then number two, going back and refreshing for yourself why it's such a win. Who has loved getting married at your property? Who has absolutely had the best experience ever, and how thankful and how life-changing this has been for them and their families. And when you do that, that fills your tank. That recharges you. And so when you're able to look at that and fill yourself back up with that level of belief, then when you go into a sales opportunity, whether it's a tour or you're on the phone or you're texting or something like that, you're going to be naturally conveying that belief that you have because you just saw the difference that it made in someone else's life. And so I think that's so important. I think, it's so easy to just get involved in the day-to-day and, okay, I'm going to, complete these different actions, but you don't take a step back and realize what is the impact that we're making. And so reviewing that occasionally and understanding, okay, what's the impact that we're making? How is this product or service really serving the people who are coming through my door or coming through my pipeline or whatever it may be? How can I make it better? How can I make it serve them more? And that commitment to excellence and that commitment to constantly, improving what you're doing is going to give you that layer of confidence and that layer of passion, and you'll be able to transfer that belief to the person who's coming in. So I really hope that you guys, as you are selling, you're able to not make the same mistake that I did and just not focusing on this. And whether you are a salesperson, whether you are an owner, operator who's selling weddings at your property or for your service, whether it's a DJ, caterer, florist, whatever it may be, I really hope that you're able to spend some time and really fill up that belief tank so that you are so full, you're overflowing, and when you talk to clients and prospects, they can't help but get excited because of how passionate you are about the way that you can serve them. So hope this is helpful today. Again, my name is Jonathan. If you would subscribe and share this content, that would mean the absolute world to me. The rest of the team here at the Venue RX, we work hard to put this content out, and I want to serve more and more people, help more and more couples at each one of the properties, with each one of the wedding venue businesses and wedding businesses just across the entire country. So sharing this and helping other businesses in this industry get better is something that we're really passionate about. So thank you so much for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next video.